Hey, everybody. Jennifer Outwater here with the Ascension Network, also here with Victor Astorga, our spirit warrior, to talk with you guys a little bit about the ascension process that's going on with the grand alignment that starts tomorrow. It actually will start just at sunrise on the East Coast. So as we move through, if you kind of time that out, sunrise in New York, you should be able to see it. So if you guys want to back your time out, you can kind of see what's going on with that. But yeah, we're going to be here today. I'll be looking down a lot because I've got a whole lot of notes everywhere. It's a whole lot of stuff to talk about. And if I'm not texting as much with you guys in the group, please be patient. You know, usually I'm the one doing most of the writing here, so it makes it harder for me sometimes to get with you guys. But I'm going to let Victor jump in and greet you guys as well because I know he's excited. It's the first time he and I've been here together.
That's very true. Thank you, Jennifer, for bringing me aboard today. It's been quite the journey and definitely a very intriguing week. Personally, and judging from all the many people that I work with, I've seen that this effect has been pretty difficult on people. You can see where people are trying to show themselves, but falling into bad habits. I've seen that firsthand. And all leading up to today, are trying to show themselves, but falling up into to today was really chaotic. I saw a lot of people just very anxious and emergency driven. So They were making too much of what could have been smoothly handled. So that's what I've been seeing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm just going to say, if you guys see me looking around, it's not because I'm a complete crackhead. I'm just a half crackhead, but trying to keep up, mediate conversation, mediate all the material, and also welcome all of you guys in. So again, hi, Brigitte. We're so happy that you're here. Ciao, amore. And Carol, too. I asked Carol to pop over to the Ascension Network page, and I will ask all of you guys to do that. It makes it a lot easier for me to keep up with any comments or questions that you have just on that one page instead of jumping back and forth, because unfortunately, when we're broadcasting, most of you know, I'm the one who's usually running the back end, making sure all your comments come up. But when it's me managing it, you know, blonde, at least from a half an inch off the root. So, hey, Carol, so good to see you. You use the word chaos all day. Girl, I'm here to tell you, Vic and I were just talking about that before we came in, and the energy shifted so hard yesterday, so hard. It's incredible. It happened last night. I could feel it. There was a tinge in the air, right? Like there was a moment, even when it hit me, where I noticed that I was not irritable, but on edge a little bit. I was just a little bit on edge, and I realized in that moment, I need space. I need space to breathe. I felt like I was suffocating a little bit. And then this morning, I had the push to go, 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 and wrap up loose ends, even though I accomplished zilch, nothing. I played in the energy that was out there to manipulate us, to get us to chase our tails. I did exactly what it wanted me to do, and I got nothing done. The only thing that happened is my feet hurt, and I was chewing people's ass as they drove by me in the car. So that was my afternoon. That was my afternoon for sure. It was chaotic. And you said it was kind of the same for you. You were telling me that you felt like people were trying to exert their authority today pretty hard.
Absolutely. Now that we're checking notes, I could not sleep. I went to bed after 1. I needed to get up at 5. Not fun, obviously, but definitely kept up. But definitely saw this anxiety in people.
Yeah.
And just like Carol was mentioning, the chaos, strongly driven from people within themselves. The environments were fine.
Right.
Different environments, great. There was nothing pending or striking urgency, but people were bringing the stress onto themselves, and I saw that all day. But I also saw a shimmer of hope, because there were people that were bringing the best of themselves in moments throughout the day, and that was really precious to see. And they really came through. I saw connections with people that were complete opposites today. So I thought that was a really interesting development. It was a pretty big blessing in general, for sure.
It is. There's a lot we're going to talk about tonight, and this was one of the reasons that I kind of wanted to do this. I know Rachel will be jumping in at some point. I think you'll probably be with me for most of the show, I hope anyway, because I know everybody loves that smiling face. But there is a lot going on. And last night, a lot of you guys know that I teach an Ascension class. Victor's in that class. We were talking a lot about astrologically what's going to happen. Let me premise with this saying that I am not an astrologer. I've never been involved in astrology. I'm not even someone who follows my sign because honestly, I believe more in free will. But I can't deny what happens when planets are aligning or when certain aspects are taking shape in the sky. It is a map. It is a universal map to read what is happening if we pay attention to it. That I can get down with 100%. And because this alignment is so intense, I thought it needed a lot of attention. So I'm going to jump you guys in really quick. So Carol said 1 p.m. this afternoon, the place went wild today. Indeed, darling. Indeed. Do you know I had a woman about that time? I don't know where exactly. You're in New York, I think, right, Carol? About that time, I was out running around. That would have been 11 o'clock here in Texas, in El Paso. And there was people were just driving in the middle of the lanes. Now listen, io sono italiano, vero italiano. I've lived in Italy for many, many years. I'm used to morons driving in the center of the road. However, today I caught myself chasing a person aggressively. And I pulled up to the red light and told her exactly what I thought. Sadly, what I said was, you shouldn't have a license. You're an idiot. Somebody should take the car away from you. I had to really pull myself back. I was like, what are you doing, you nutcase, right? Like, get your life together. It was insane. Rachel just popped in, so there she is. Hey, girl. We got lots of people popping in, so I just wanted to say Brigitte's here. It's awesome. Carol. Kelsey just popped in. Yay, yay.
Kelsey. Hey, Carol. Brigitte. Willkommen.
She got a call. Kelsey did today for an interview in a Fort job. Girl, get it,
Wow.
get it. You are a manifesting master. I have
Unstoppable.
Legit. Like if you knew how powerful you actually were, these people would be watching their six, let me tell you, all day long. Hey, Chastity girl. We love y'all so much. I have to tell you, the three of us talk about you guys a lot. And it's really nice because, you know, Rachel's on a different network sometimes as well. This is Victor's first time of jumping in and doing this. But I can tell you that every time we're in here with you guys, y'all lift us up in a way that y'all have no idea how much your energy plays in on us. And we are also super grateful to each and every one of you for not only being supportive, but for supporting each other in chat. It's amazing, amazing, amazing to watch the love and collective community that you girls are building. It's incredible. I'm so super proud of you guys. So Rachel, how was your day? Victor and I were talking about, we had a little bit of a wonky day. How was yours? I don't know if Rachel can hear me. Rachel cannot. Well, that explains how Rachel's day is going.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be back in a minute. She's got to figure out what's going on with their sound.
What? That's incredible, Kelsey.
Are you kidding me?
Just manifesting all over the place.
Girl.
Hey, Rachel.
Rachel, can you hear us this time? I don't think she can. Hang on. I'm just, no. Oh, nice one. Brigitte said, holy shift, Kelsey. I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. I don't know what's going on here with poor Miss Rachel, but I'm going to type her a message and see if she can sign or write it down.
But that is incredible news. Thank you for sharing.
It is. It's crazy.
We do talk about you all, and it is an inspiration for each of us, and we appreciate your support so much. And we're just sending good vibes. It's been fantastic.
It has been super. Listen, Chastity just popped in. We are going to talk about nothing but energy tonight. I'm just trying to make sure Rachel can get in with her sound. Can we talk about energy for a minute? I was super mad when I woke up until about 12, and then I was super happy and full of energy. It wore you out. Let me put it like this. I'm usually really good on air about not using all my Southern lingo, because even though my accent is maybe not as strong as Rachel and Wanda's, we are all from the same area. So here come the Southern puns. I didn't know whether to wind my ass or scratch my watch this morning either, Chastity. That's exactly what the energy was. I was hostile. not so much when I woke up, but it kind of reversed on me. That is what the energy is right now. And it is super, super intense. Like I said, I think just before you got in, I'm going to go through the dates with you guys of what to watch. If you guys want to grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil to kind of keep up with this, I'm going to say do it. Maybe mark it on your calendar so that you are aware of what energy is coming in at what time, so that you're not shocked and surprised by it. Because a lot of what's going to be happening over the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be shock and awe. It is, I want y'all to know it's not the end of the world, right? But it is the end of a timeline for many of us, and it is the end of an open window for a lot of people. So we're going to see a lot of oddities, a lot of things that seem a little bit stranger than fiction going on. Carol said you were the opposite. See, me too. Mine was kind of flip-flopped, but the point is that energy's there. I mean, I think when we connect to it, is maybe it's just matching where we are right in that moment, or maybe we just gravitate to one side or the other. You see, this is what I'm talking about. You girls are so precious. I love y'all so much. I hope that everybody in here right now gets in on the next 5D class that's coming up. I'm telling you, you guys will not believe what it will do for you. And it's not me trying to sell it to you. I know how much it can change your life. And I mean change it all the way around.
Life changing, for sure.
Let's see if Rachel can hear us. I don't think she can still. I think she's got earbuds in for no reason. So while she's writing down what's going on, I'm going to just kind of go ahead and jump in, guys. So you guys know that alignment is coming tomorrow. I think most of you, can you hear me now? Rachel, can you hear me? She's, Rachel's somewhere, I don't know where, but anyway. Anyway, we get to look at Rachel's beautiful face.
Mm-hmm.
We have Mercury, Venus, Mars, the moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. Now, what you guys don't know is on the back end, there is some things going on outside of that alignment that are also coming in to play around with us. Neptune will be going retrograde. And if you guys don't know what this stuff means, it's okay. I'm going to just pretty much explain to you what the energetic is going to look like. Starting tomorrow, and you guys may even feel the effects of it tonight. And Victor, you jump in when this is relevant or if you have more information, okay? Because I don't want to keep you on the side like my beautiful wingman, even though you are.
Thank you.
Starting tomorrow, Mercury will square, it'll do a half square with Pluto. This is going to be hard for some people. Some people are going to have a hard time dealing with this because what this does, along with the alignment being there, which is already intense, the alignment is intensifying. Think of it like a radio signal. If we could put this on a large radio, what do you call them, Victor? Like the big ones in New Mexico?
Radio receiver. Yes.
Like the ones they use to communicate with outer space, right? If we could look at it on that scale, just amplify it times a million, right? And that's not an exaggeration. So it's just taking whatever energy is coming in or out and pushing it out. So with Mercury coming in the way that it's going to come in and doing that half square with Pluto, it means that a lot of people are going to have to start dealing with the truth of the fact that we are moving into a new reality, whether we like it or not. So for people that are hanging in the lower realms on 3D energetic, they might be feeling this in a way that feels like they're super confused and they don't know what to do with themselves. Are you in now, girl?
Yes, I'm in now.
Hey, hey, Rachel.
Okay. Hey, I'll take a call so Rachel can say hey to you guys, and then I'll jump back in. We're talking a little bit about just kind of the astrology of what's coming in over the next couple of days.
Yes.
So I want you and Victor to jump in whenever y'all feel the need to.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I'll say I have been so sick. I didn't even feel like doing this, but I knew y'all would make me feel better. And it's crazy. And I mean, my computer is shutting down. It's giving me things about my internal battery that's not working. I see I'm glitching on my phone. I don't know. So that just tells me that all these little bitty aggravating things, like, I don't know, but I just don't think they want the message to get out. However, I want to say this. These planets have been, ever since I think the 1st of June, these planets have been in this alignment. We're just going to see it on the 24th. And I think the moon is going to be more prominent.
It will,
so,
yeah.
My thing is, it feels like that there is so much anxiety that is building within me, and I do believe it's collectively. So my thinking is that everybody as a collective is like, oh no, this alignment, all these things are going to happen. So it's creating this anxiety or this buzz, and that's building this intensity, when in actuality, it's been visible for a while now.
For a month. I mean, it has been. It's been there. The difference is now that we have a couple of things going on in the background in the outer planets that are moving in. That's where the push comes in. And then we have a secondary issue, which is this fabulous, fabulous sunspot that has been multiplying. And there is actually an alignment with that. I will bring it up and on the day that this thing will burst wide open. This is why we're having communication issues. It's not only the manipulated energy that frequency that's been put out to hold us down, but that frequency is also disrupting all of our communication. So it has been here too.
Right. And the other thing is, a lot of these planets that are aligned, they're in their home planets. So it's like the energy is intensified. That's what I
was just saying. I said, this is like if you take a radar signal or a radio signal and amplify it times 1,000,000, that's what this is, right?
Right. Yeah,
so
this is just
a lot of people, people are just feeling it in really, really different ways. Let me jump in with this and then I'll let you guys comment, because I think this is a smart way to do it. Let me feed some of the information. Now, this is information that I channeled about, Victor, 2 weeks ago? Two weeks ago?
Yep.
Right after the full moon, right after, I think it wasn't it? Wasn't it right after
June 14th?
After the strawberry moon. I started
Tuesday. That was Tuesday, right? That was a Tuesday.
And so I put dates to it thanks to Rick Levine, because he's one of the only astrologers that I really like to watch. So I went on and dealt with him and kind of put what I was seeing, what I had written down with the dates to make sure that it was on point. So Carol said, I feel the shift. Yeah. Okay. You feel oddly confident. That's good. That's because you're resonating in a higher frequency.
Just like Kelsey.
Yeah. Just like Kelsey. I think all of you guys in here tonight are, or you wouldn't be here, right? You guys are fine. But I have to talk about both perspectives, right? We have to talk about both perspectives, because the truth is we're not all, and the people around us are not all vibrating in a higher dimension. So in that energetic, so we have to talk about what it is. Real quick, I'll jump over here and look at Kelsey. I'm so tired of having headaches. Yeah. It's physically been rough, Kelsey, for a lot of people. A lot of people have been complaining, at least in class, about body aches. I've been getting headaches like behind my ears. Rachel's not been feeling good. She's had a lot of throat chakra garbage going on and stomach stuff going on.
And I think I could just add really quickly,
sure.
The observation that we made in class is that it seems to be hitting women more.
It does.
Men. It's hit me in certain ways, but not even close to how it's hit all of you. It has been profound.
Yeah. It was interesting. I woke up this morning to a slew of messages from my European friends, and they were all men. And all of them were saying the same thing. And I hope this is not offensive, but it just is what it is. That they were having incredible spikes of sexual energy that they couldn't quite understand. And I had to explain to them this didn't mean they needed to go breed with the world, but it meant that they needed to put that energy into their creative processes, right? That energy's their creative energy, just like for women as creators, we hold that energy in the same space, right? But it was funny. So it is hitting women, I think, more physically and emotionally than it is men. But let's be honest, women are the neck if men are the head. So if women start losing it, men will as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially
right,
after
Victor? I'm joking.
No.
I'm teasing. All right, so let me jump back into this, because what I was talking about was the 25th. So I was talking about that Mercury half square with Pluto. that really, it is going to make it difficult for a lot of people to comprehend that we are shifting in timeline and that we are changing some dimensional energy of where we are. It's just happening. Again, like I said, whether you like it or not, or whether you can conceive it at this point or not, it is happening all around you. Your body will react to it. Your animals are going to react to it. Lots of animals going crazy, running to doors, wanting to get out, to run outside to bark at I don't know what, right? Like it's just been chaos. The children are reacting to. Moping around. There's been a lot of moping, but it's been spikes in energy too. 1 minute super high and 1 minute super low, right? Yeah. So everybody's kind of feeling it. One of the things that happened over this last month, at least in my perspective, is that the veil had been lifted pretty much. And in that, I mean that everybody on this planet had the opportunity to manifest at lightning speed. Everybody had access to downloading information, to receiving information to help them ascend if they chose to at full capacity. That shows up in the sense of not sleeping sometimes, being extremely tired during the day, because you have all that data in your brain. Your brain's a computer, right? It can only download so much data at a time. We put it in file folders until we're ready to unzip that folder and deal with it, but we've received a whole lot of information. So that was coming in really heavy. The people on the 3D side have had a harder time trying to ascend. For those of us who are already moving naturally towards that process, it's been lightning speed revelations and jumps in our awareness. For the others, it's like they de-evolved a little bit.
Very much so.
Rachel's frozen. That's a horrible look on her face. Can you see that? Okay, there she is. That was when your face froze up. It looked like you just sucked on a turd popsicle. It was bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna freeze too, just to.
Okay, everybody freeze at one time with a stupid face. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Right, that's awesome. Okay. Sorry, guys, we have to get a laugh in.
And Rachel's frozen again.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who knows with that, Kelsey? I've been watching my cats and my dog for the longest time, and they keep staring at the same position in my yard. When I realized a couple of weeks ago that I was merging with that ship so hard that I could hear things on the other side very clearly, which means they can. So it's hard to say what all they're picking up, right? It's really hard to say what all they're picking up with that. Yeah, let me run through this last little part real quick, and then we can all talk about it. So the one thing that we have seen in this ride is that we've been able to manifest incredibly quick. Like in the class, we've been meditating for rain in certain areas of the country daily. And literally within 12 hours, we're seeing rain in those parts of the country. And that has been in drought areas. That was Arizona. That was this part of Texas. That was New Mexico. We've watched our manifestation happen really quickly, which means it's happening for you guys too. Really fastly, just like Kelsey with her jobs, right? Like all this stuff coming in. It is amplified, supercharged, happening really, really fast. It's almost instantaneous because we're manifesting in a 4D level, right? Which means that energy just shoots straight out of her head into the universe really quick. We don't have to wait too long for things to come in. So that part has been really super cool. I will tell you the quickest way to manifest in 4D, if you haven't been picking that up, but in 4D and 5D, you have to be in manifestation there in a point of not asking for 3D things, and I mean material things that are based in fear. I need more money. I need more food. I need to find a lover. I need to find my car. You can't manifest in that way. You have to think in a collective mentality in the sense of that I need balance. I want balance so that the universe can bring all of that. And you have to do it with humility, right? Vulnerability and humility is the key of unlocking that heart energy into working in that arena. So I will leave it there for just a second.
That's been the resounding message you've been sharing with us for the past couple of days. And it's been very, very, like you said, reactive, instantaneous, almost in some cases within 4 hours or less, others 10. It's been incredible, most definitely. But just like you said, to avoid mapping into that 3D energy by keeping the intention 5D and asking for balance keeps us away from that chaos. I'm pretty sure if I'd not heeded your advice, I'd be lost in the mire right now too and going out of my mind. Definitely.
It's easy to do it. So Kelsey's been hearing unexplained noises when you're inside. Have you been hearing anything like that, Rachel? Have you been picking up on that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a lot. And but it's distorted. It's really weird. It almost sounds like technical or
Yes.
like technical or
Yes.
mechanical.
Like computer voices
And I'm
almost.
like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, I know that's, and just like I'm glitching out, I don't understand this. I know my body temperature is going up and down. I don't know. There's so much going on. I've tried, every time I think about it, like my computer freezes up more and I'm having problems more.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you have to
Yes.
detach from it. Sit back and detach from the issue, because
Yeah.
even right now, that energy is so intense, wanting to glitch us out and get us caught in that 3D thing. That's the whole point of this. There's so much manipulation right now
Yeah.
to keep people lagging down in that. You know what I mean? Swimming in the water, no swimming lessons, no life vests, just dragging.
Right.
But we've been hearing that too. Victor's heard those computer type voices, and so have I. That's been broadcast pretty high. In fact, I had two pictures not fall off the wall today, jump off the wall. It scared the bejesus out of me.
Wow.
I had to really stop. And the crazy thing was they weren't heavy pictures. They just jumped off the damn wall, and I was like, all right, well, here we go, right?
And then to add, just a couple hours ago, getting
For
ready.
the past 2 nights.
Please go ahead, Rachel. Go ahead, Rachel.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, just to add really quickly, just a couple hours ago, and last night I heard a woman in my living room. I'm sorry.
We've got a lag. It's okay. Listen, you guys give each other a 5-second pause in between talking. Just count it down, right? Okay, go.
No, but right quickly, last night and this just a couple hours ago, I've heard a woman talking, just having a conversation in my living room. Clear as day. Clear as day.
Okay, it's all you, Rach.
Yep.
I was going to say, for the past 2 nights, I have been extremely agitated, so agitated in my own skin, and I have not been able to sleep. And that is very out of character for me. Like, I can lay down and sleep within 2 or 3 seconds, but just things crawling on me, and not able to sleep. And the heat, again, it's the heat.
Yeah.
Which I know it's hot, but this is that different kind of heat.
It is. It's different when your body's on fire internally and the heat from outside. I was explaining this to Victor the other night. It feels like there's a fire inside of my body. I can't stand anything touching me right now. I don't want an animal touching me. I don't want a child touching me. I don't want anything touching me right now. Right? Stay out of my energy field. That's don't do it. But that's where I've been. So Kelsey said they had 6 hours of storms last Thursday. Kelsey, they're rolling in. We're actually in the collective class right now. We are working to balance that weather in the areas where we're worried about tornadoes and flooding, to make sure that your crops and those sort of things don't get hit really hard, especially out like Missouri, Kentucky, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, and those areas. So we are trying to navigate things with balance to see if we can help out here, because we're seeing the results every time we meditate. We see it pop up. There will be nothing on the weather map, and an hour or two afterwards, we've got storms rolling in. Chastity said she was doing some manifesting last night, and the palms of her hands got really warm, and it felt like the energy in her arms, and I love that feeling. That's what it is.
Yes, definitely. I also want to add that in our work with the class, just because most groups celebrated the summer solstice this week, and one of my communities celebrated it in bringing forth also the gift of water. But I'm glad that you gave the direction that we want the earth to drink, but balanced for the people that are living on the lands. And I've luckily in the places that the manifestation's working, it's been balanced. There hasn't been flooding. There haven't been mudslides. And that's another focus that thankfully we've taken into consideration when we've been manifesting.
I think the key is asking for balance, because the oppositional energy that's been put out over the last month is about to intensify. I'll get back into that in a few minutes. But everything that we as a collective and humanity that's vibrating on a higher expression is trying to usher in is being met with the same level. It's being matched with negative energy to do exactly the opposite. So this is a real balancing act, right? It's kind of the shootout at the OK Corral, right? Like we're kind of standing in that position right now of, I don't want to say fighting energies, but this is kind of a war. This is a war to help the planet ascend. This is the crazy thing. We were talking about this last night too, but this is the first time in our written history that the planet's ascension has aligned with our ascension as sentient beings. That in our written history, we don't have an account of. This is why I think it comes up so much in religion and in philosophies and theologies, the ascension process of, the Lord will come back and they will ascend, that they will hear horns in the sky, that there will be chariots of fire. All these things they talk about, they're happening right now, not in the sense that they were written, perhaps, but that is where we are. We're moving with the planet, and the planet is moving with us at the moment.
You also brought a really good point that it's also the fact that since the universe is neutral and recognizes that neutrality, that the opposition forces are taking advantage of the same manifestation that's happening right now. And they know what's going on. And
right.
Yeah, building upon that. And
that's the thing. I think people get lost in this idea that the universe is all, love and sunflowers and all of this. It's not. It's a neutral player. It's Switzerland in the grand game, right? It doesn't care what we're attracting. Its job is to match our energy and give us what we're asking for. That means that it's open also to people who do not want the best for themselves or for other people. I mean, I've said this before, a serial killer can manifest just as quickly as a pastor can, right? Like the universe is neutral in that. And we have to realize that those people are also using the energy right now of this alignment to manifest some pretty big things, just like we're trying to use it to manifest some pretty big things. Rachel, I love you. I hate it that you're having glitches, sugar butt. It's really glitching on her. So Carol said that she's been having super heightened sense of intuition with your patients, and you will continue to. This is the thing. This is when you know that you're resonating. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, just click me off, and then I'm just going to post. I'll post in the comments.
Are you sure? Okay. Bless her heart. That's really rough. But yeah, so that way she can have that conversation. We can watch the comments and keep Rachel in. But yeah, you're going to keep on having that sense. Listen, that's what I was talking about when I said the veil has been lifted. It's been lifted for this short amount of time for people to connect in that intuitive collective mentality. It won't stay that way, sadly. And let me put it this way. It won't stay that open. You'll still be able to do it with people that are resonating on a higher frequency, but for people that are resonating on a lower frequency, it's almost like a border wall is being put in. And that's one of the things that comes in really quick with this. On the 28th, if you guys want to mark that, Neptune goes retrograde. Now, let me be clear that Neptune has been in the flow of all of this, but it's been moving slower than they've ever recorded it, less than 1 degree. And I think Levine said the last 6 months or even a year. Now it's going retrograde, but still at that same slow pace. And that's problematic because here's what it does. The longer it sits still, the more energy it builds. It's just spinning and spinning and spinning and building energy. And Pluto is all about delusion and fantasy and confusion and people getting lost in the moment and not being able to think clearly. That energy building is really dangerous for people. So it means that people are going to start getting a little more delirious. Don't be surprised if you see the drug issues get much worse, if you see people ODing much worse, if you see a lot more of the older community, and not just, even people over 45, stepping into dementia and Alzheimer's because they don't want to deal with the new reality. So they shift into the delusional energy that's there. That's a very possible thing. But yeah, it's building all that energy. The issue is it creates an energy for creative manipulation. Now, again, this is neutral. It can go both ways. For those of us who want to use that creative energy to manipulate timelines or our space in a good way that brings balance and harmony for all of us and for this planet, we can definitely do that in this energetic coming in on the 28th. But there's also the opposite side that has the same information, that has the same ability to do it as they would like. So we have to be aware of that. There's going to be also in that time, because the collective oppositional collection, or collective, I'll call it that, will be using that energy of Neptune's retrograde also to come in and increase and create new fear tactics. Think back what it was like when we first heard that COVID was starting, right? And everybody started freaking out, and people started distancing themselves from each other in their homes, and families weren't talking. See, we're already all forgetting about that because it feels like it was a long time ago, but it was not. Since we've all made peace with that, they have to come back in with something even harder now. Those scenarios are going to start up again. They're going to come at us with new tactics that put us back or that try, if you submit to it, to put us back into that fear energy of mortality, of facing mortality, of death, of, oh my God, this is all out of control. But they're going to be doing a lot of that. It's trying to bring people back down, people who are ascending into the 3D vibration, where we are containable and controllable. Because without us, they lose their power. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to go back and forth between the comments as well.
I can just add, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that you brought up a really good point, because with the fast manifestation, your thought processes should be encouraged to stay in the positive, because if you go down the rabbit hole of negativity, it's that much more intense right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it will keep you down there. Heavy.
It will
really
eat
heavy.
you alive like a cancer. Right? It absolutely will.
Absolutely.
It will tear you apart. Kelsey said she's been getting goosebumps frequently. I bet you are, sweet girl. That means you're picking up on those energy shifts, right? You're picking up on that movement in the energy and in the timeline. You know how we used to use those old sayings that we felt like somebody dead walked behind us if we got the shiver up our spine? Or it's kind of like that now, because you have to realize that we are blending with an entirely different timeline. There are other expressions of ourselves there as well that we're having to blend with, which I know sounds freaky and really far out, but this is what's happening. There's actually quite a lot of science that's following this right now. You guys feel free to go do the research on your own. So thankfully, I'm not just, puffing off a bunch of spiritual fluffy fluff, but because I don't like to do that. Carol said it's freaking her colleagues out. I bet.
Absolutely.
You've turned into the hospital whisperer, right? It gets like that. People get freaked out when you start picking up on that intuition like that. But let's be honest, we're all highly intuitive, right? Period. We put up blocks to block that communication. But people in the service fields of servicing other humans, whatever that may be, that are personally connected to it, always have an immense sense of intuition. They come in that way, driven in that way, because they know what they're coming in to do.
Absolutely.
Oh, Lord. Biden said the other day there'll be another plague. Listen, you know what's fascinating about that is we were already told this a year and a half ago. Bill Gates did a TED talk and talked about the fact that the next one would be an outbreak of a type of pox. So they had already known what the next manipulation was going to be. They're going to try to hit us hard with that. I did see a thing last night where I think Vic was watching it with me.
Yes.
Where they were trying to throw this on the gay community just like they did with HIV, saying that it was predominantly gay men who were getting infected with now the monkeypox. It's ridiculous. This stuff is so crazy. You can't even make this shit up half the time. I'm just telling you. It's not freaky for you. Well, good. You know, that's funny because I put SG1 on yesterday and I have not watched that show in 15 years. And I had it in the background because that's what it was making me think of, was that whole first season of the Stargate thing. So Rachel popped in. Can you read that, Vic?
Yes. I've been seeing a lot of natural type disasters. Just like the energy is building in our bodies, it also builds up on the earth and will shake up the weakest areas like power grids. The high temps aren't helping. We just need to keep in mind it's just an inconvenience and to stay neutral.
Amen. We've been talking about that. Rachel and I have been warning about that. We were both seeing a lot about massive amounts of water movement. So flooding, tsunamis, movement in that capacity. And I saw it also. I saw last week what looked like some type of eruption out of a mountain range. And I was talking to one of our girlfriends in the class. She's up in Alaska. And I said, I don't know why I feel like it's kind of up that way. But there's a lot of stuff coming in like that. And we do have to stay neutral in it, because you have to realize these are just tactics that are being thrown out to manipulate the Earth's ascension. Now, that part really gets my goat and pisses me off, really more than even the humans. We rotate back in, so whatever, right? But it's manipulating the Earth's energy as well, which is infuriating, because you think about all the animals, all the life forms on this planet that don't have an option but to move with Earth energy, right? As humans, we do. We can fight it to a certain degree. We have more creative capacity, at least in our awareness of where we are right now in this dimensional reality. We have more creative capacity, but I always feel really bad for them. It's really sad. So yeah, that stuff's all going to be jumping up. I mean, they're going to hit us with a lot of financial scares too. There's no doubt about that. You guys, the gas prices are not going to quit going up. The food cost is not going to quit going up. The stock market is not going to get any better. All of these things are coming into a push to just drag as many people down into hell as they can, because that's really what it is. That 3D energetic is hell. If anybody was waiting on Lucifer to show up, you long missed that damn boat. It happened a long time ago, right? Like, he doesn't need to come. We did real good on our own.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree 100%. I think Mother Earth is absolutely sick with the manipulation. And that's why we've been focusing, Brigitte, really on balance, is trying to ask for balance. Whatever that means, right? It has to be, in my opinion, balance for the planet and for its inhabitants, all of them, even down to the plants.
So she writes, just as a side note, people are paying attention and having a couple weeks food. However, we need to think about if power goes off and freezer stock items.
It's true. Since I am the guru of doo-doo when it comes to prepping, because I was raised that way in the church, but also I grew up with a crazy father. I will tell you right now, if power goes down, and there's a good chance it will, and the stuff that you have in the freezer now, go buy yourself a buttload of salt and start preserving your food in salt, and go dig yourself out a root cellar if you can do it, or if you've got a crawl space in the basement, it's going to hold a lot longer. Brine it, put it in vinegar, use the old ways. There's ways to protect every ounce of food that you have in your home right now. If it's rice and beans and things like that, you have to consider that boll weevils will come in it very quickly with the heat, with flour too. So it's better to pre-make some of those items if you can. Bread will hold for a very long time. If you guys don't know, eggs hold in potash for up to 6 months. Fresh eggs will. So if you have access to fresh eggs, you can put them and cover them in ash, and they'll hold 6 months, sometimes even longer, without spoiling, no matter what the temperature really looks like. I mean, obviously you're not going to sit them in the sun to bake, but you can do that. So Rachel, you're right. There's ways to maneuver around this. You just have to think about vitamin intake and protein. People think when it's summer that they're not going to require vitamin D as much, or vitamin C, but let me be clear, when it's 108 degrees outside and you're not going outside and you're in a house all day, you require more vitamin C and vitamin D. So those are things to think about. Good multivitamin will take you very far.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brigitte. Balance, balance, balance. I mean, at some point we have to get this. We can't think as a society in 3D or in 4D or in any dimensional degree that we have the right to abuse the one thing we are connected the most solidly to, right? We've been in a narcissistic, abusive relationship with the planet for a very long time. And I don't blame her for stepping out and throwing a couple of flip-flops, right, at people's heads. I'm down with it 100%. That's exactly what I would do. Oh, goodness gracious. On the 28th, guys, we also have a new moon coming in, because why not, right? And that's gonna get Jupiter in Aries super excited. So anybody who knows about astrology knows that anytime we have things in Aries, it's always a real balancing act of being in between making love or making war. But we're going one way or the other with that energy, right? Like it's going to the extremes one way or the other. So if it gets Jupiter super excited like that, the chances are that we will see an uptick for many of us who are ascending in the observations of things, for example, like the Mandela effect. We will start noticing it a lot more because you're being pushed right now to really accept it and to wake up that we've shifted. So there's a lot more of that comes in. There will be a lot more deja vu scenarios coming in, trying to get you to wake up to the fact that you are living in multiple timelines. It's trying to get you to wake up to what our true reality is, not the one that we've been sold. So those things will be an uptick when that new moon comes in. So just be prepared for them. Our lower, I don't know why this was something I was channeling, but in the lower vibrations, in the lower dimensional realities where we also are, we are in multiple timelines. I mean, science has already proved that we are living spherically. Quantum physics has already got it out there. So it's not a, Jennifer's crazy and that's what she thinks thing. This is reality. But in the lower dimensions of our timelines where we are residing, I feel like we're fighting really hard for us up here to try to get us to push forward. The darker side of things, is darker the word I want to use? I don't know. The heavier side of dimensional energy is just pushing real hard. It's trying to create like a duality where we are living in a duality. That's part of that, what we were talking about with Neptune as well. Neptune's all about water and movement and all of those kind of things as well, but it's trying to create a duality. It's kind of like, what's that movie, Castaway? The poor guy's out on a boat and he's talking to a ball and he thinks he's sane, but he's not sane. And it's kind of like that for me. I'm kind of like, oh, I don't want to be on that boat, right? Like, I don't want to get into that. But that's kind of where it is. So people residing in the higher vibration, just be aware of that duality. Make sure that you're not getting confused between the two. Be very clear that if you are not manifesting and vibrating highly, you are absolutely stepping back into 3, and be careful with that. Raise your vibration the minute that you feel it and pull yourself out of it. I'm going to make a lot of movie references because I think that's how we can identify with things. But it's like that scene in the movie What Dreams May Come, where Robin Williams goes into hell to try to save his wife from her own insanity, which is hell. And they tell him to be careful not to get lost down there, because if he's down there too long, he won't remember who he is and he won't be able to come back. This energy is a lot like that. It's going to be very similar. So please pay attention to all of those things for sure. And I would love if Rach can, when she has time, because she's definitely more into and more knowledgeable in astrology than I am. Like I said, I do not claim to be an astrologist at all. But all of that's happening with the new moon on the 28th. This is all just one day, guys. This is one day. This is not a week. Yeah, mind blown, right? It's not a week of shite being thrown at you. It's a whole week and one day of shite being thrown at you.
Seriously.
Sounds like so much fun. I suggest everybody buy a huge bottle of Captain Morgan and we can all get online and have a pirate party together. That's what I'm opting for.
Arr,
the captain.
There's a reason why I wore the black shirt today. Buckle up and hold on. That's right, Kelsey.
Yeah. Hold on real good. I was going to say that's why I had the girls sitting so high so I could be the winch, but they're not sitting the eye, if we're being honest. So I guess I'm looking more like the pirate. Do any of you guys have questions about kind of where this ascension is going for you personally, or how we can help you move through it, or anything you'd like to add? because this is all of us, guys. We're all moving through this thing together. It is going to be bumpy. I want you guys to remember how much you need each other and how much we need you as well. In the bumpy times, come to us, really come to us on the network and go to each other. You guys are all connected, I think, at this point. Talk to each other, depend on each other, rely on each other. It's that vulnerability that helps us move to the next step. As a collective, you have to be humble enough and vulnerable enough to ask for help when you need it and to call on that energy from the collective to come and support you with it. Otherwise, you'll find yourself, pulling a Wilson out in the middle of the water, right?
Exactly.
That's pretty much the way that it goes. But that's kind of where we are. So I'm going to turn it over to Victor for just a second. And Victor, I was going to ask you if you wouldn't mind pulling a spread for what it looks like for tomorrow.
Sure thing.
I
do want to add too, the easiest way to raise your vibration is laughter, right? So if you find a funny movie or a clip from YouTube that takes you there, I do that. I have a go-to because I found that working with the frequency, the lower frequency, got me really mellow. And so my go-to was just a quick video, and man, I was laughing right after that. So let me go ahead and
I think it depends on your humor. Mine is Bridesmaids, the scene where they're all puking and whatever in the bathroom. I get in a giggle fit with that every time because I'm immature, I guess. But Carol, it is. Listen, it's hard. Here's the thing: we don't know what we're moving forward into, but we're moving forward whether we like it or not. So the unsurety of that, I understand. It's a little bit of anxiety, right, of not knowing where we're going. But I'm just going to say, you got this.
Definitely.
Don't doubt for a second that you don't have this. You're far more powerful than you have been told.
Absolutely.
I can guarantee you that.
So on a quick spread, I pulled upright the Queen of Swords, I'm sorry. So we're looking at the strong feminine energy, but it's going to be inverted because that's the practice that Jennifer has advised, and I've been doing that since August of 2021. So the idea is the intellect is stimulated. This is looking back towards the beginning of the week, but cautious to not be lost in your thoughts, leading us to today, where consequentially I pulled upright the King of Swords. So as the feminine energy built up, now today we see the masculine energy of authority with the intellect, to be mindful not to take your thoughts too seriously, which makes sense with what's in the air right now. But looking towards tomorrow, we're looking at the Nine of Cups. So with water going with the flow, I would invert the card. So the caution is not to celebrate and take things for granted. You may have a wealth or a cache of abundance, but be careful because that can quickly dissipate. And with everything that's going on tomorrow, just all the cards being inverted, just warnings of what is to come. And that's what I have for everybody for tomorrow.
Thank you, Victor. I appreciate that. Carol, people are becoming increasingly mean. They are. Listen, they're getting hostile in their environment because I really want you to take that word narcissistic. That's been a theme word for the last couple of weeks. What does a narcissist hate the most? To lose power and control over the people around them. The hostility is that they can feel the separation, even though they're not aware or willing to be aware enough of what it is, and they are angry. They're losing their ability to dictate and run other people. It does make them hostile. Kelsey says, yes, they are. Very short-tempered and quick to blame. I've not missed working in retail during this time. Girl, I bet you haven't. Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm 100%, and Carol just said it, 100%. I am 100% because I've owned restaurants for so many years. Always the kindest to everybody I meet in retail because I know how bad that job sucks when you're having to deal with just idiots. But I've also been in the butt of the people who are working in retail lately too, going, hey, you're directing the energy, right? If I walk up and you're not looking at me or you've got a bad attitude, you're just pushing that through the whole line. The next 20 people that come through are going to be religiously awful to you because that's what you're attracting and they're going to match it. People are that way right now. Listen, just detach from them. You have to realize they're residing on a lower frequency. These are the people who will not shift into this new reality. They will not shift into this timeline.
Yeah, and I also noticed, just to add, that people are creating their own emergencies when things are perfectly fine if they just let the flow. And that's where the narcissism comes in, because, oh, I don't have something to control. I'm going to make something of it and control it.
Yeah, let me start a fire, right? Let me go get the
Yes.
matches. It's
Exactly.
absolutely crazy. I mean, just absolutely bonkers. I was saying today, talking to one of my girlfriends, I said it's like dealing with angry teenagers, right? Like being a mom, I've had to deal with 30 years now of somebody being pissed off. So my give a you know whats are kind of gone. But it's the same thing. It's like having a pouty, complaining teenager walking through the house. Now, am I going to feed too much into that or take it personally? Probably not. Right? Like I may need a glass of wine afterwards, but I'm not going to go cry myself to sleep over it. It's a hormonal, irritable entity. Do you know what I mean? That has no responsibility or concept of a bigger picture. It is the same for these people. They just don't. And you don't need to be sympathetic. They just need to not exist for you. The best way to transcend this and to move out of it gracefully is they just don't exist. Don't attach to anything they're saying or doing. They're like petulant children.
Yes.
Amen. They absolutely are.
And
It's
Kelsey explained she was in retail banking for 12 and a half years, so she knows.
Oh yeah. It's straight chaos. I had a woman hit me with her buggy in Walmart today 4 times in my backside. When I turned around and gave her the stink eye and gave her the look like her life was about to end any second, she said, "Oh, excuse me." And I said, "Before or after the ass whipping?"
Wow.
And she goes, "Come again?" And I said, "You didn't seem to mind hitting me before I turned around and gave you the look I just did." Right? Like, so at which point did you feel like you had done something wrong? Right? It is that energetic. They just don't get it, and they don't care either. And we just have to detach from them. So listen, at the end of the day, here's the thing with this, because I know we're running out of time. We're gonna give some more time for you guys to ask questions if you'd like. But you have to recognize that this is happening. That's number one. You have to acknowledge that we are shifting, and you have to make a conscious choice. I'm begging with you guys to shift with this, to go gracefully with it, even when it feels like crap. It won't feel as crappy as it has in this recent reality. I can assure you that. If you will just raise up into that, you will feel a million times better. But we are 100% here for you. Carol says, "I'm sassy." Oh, girl, in multiple languages. Don't even get me going, right?
No.
I'm Southern, but I'm Southern in every country I've ever lived in. Southern Italy, Georgia. Girl, I got sass. I tell my youngest all the time that he puts the ass in class, right? Because I'm sorry, I stuttered for a second, because he will come out and blurt some stuff like I've never seen in my life, right? And the sass,
Yeah.
and I don't even know what to tell you. I wake up and have smart ass written on my forehead. It takes all I can do every day not to be sarcastic, because I grew up that way and many of us did. It's a defense mechanism, right? It's a deflective tactic to not get hurt. So I've been working really hard over that over the years, trying to not be, but I ain't gonna joke. Sometimes she comes out to play sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If looks could kill, there would be quite a few less people, but here's the alternate to that. If smiles can heal, there will be a whole lot more people. So I have to catch myself. You guys have to catch yourselves too. We're all super hyper accountable right now for where we are and what we're attracting. And that's why I'm pushing, and we're all pushing all the time with you guys to raise that vibration. You know, it's fun on the network because it's a place to connect. It's a place to put your energy instead of just getting stuck in reality TV, right? And I'm always so grateful that you guys come in that way. And the readings are fun and it's all fun. But the truth is, we're just trying to raise your vibration. The whole point is we're just trying to raise your vibration. We're trying to let you know that you're loved, that you're all connected, and that we're building that foundation not for you guys, with you guys.
Life altering. That's amazing,
you know Carol, that's amazing. And I'll tell you what, sweetie, if you decide you want to write it down or you want to do a video clip of it even, you can send that to me through the network's email. We all would love to hear about that. Anytime you guys are having experiences like that, share them, please. We're all in this together, right? Like, it's awesome to hear and know what you guys are going through. Everybody in the Ascension Network team we remember and keep up with every one of you guys, and we actually talk about you guys a lot off camera when we're talking personally, like talk about how awesome you guys are, or how excited we are for you, or what's going on with your life. So we're in it to win it, kiddos. We're all in this together. And I guess with that, we'll go ahead and get ready to sign out. I'll let Victor get in the last word, but I'm just going to say, eyes open, hearts open. Guys, over the next couple of days, do not panic. Do not get lost in that energy. If you feel yourself falling down the hole, please, please email us, and one of us will reach out to you. I can guarantee you that's what we're here to do. We have dedicated our lives and our time to be here and help you guys ascend.
And on that same thread, if you can resist reacting, because this is the time right now, it's going to take you down that rabbit hole and keep you down there. So the whole idea, if you can resist, raise that vibration, find something funny to bring it up, and then keep manifesting on that level rather than on the lower frequencies. Now, tomorrow's going to be a real doozy. So like Jennifer said, if you can, get a bottle of wine, stay in, try not to have too much contact because obviously people are going bonkers. But at the same time, we're going to be following. If you all post, we will pay attention to your posts, and looking forward to how Sunday comes along because Wanda will be coming live on Sunday. And so it'll be really interesting to see how your weekend goes and ends into Sunday and looking at the first part of the week coming in. So thank you so much.
I think next week's shows are going to be pretty intense considering that's going to fall in those days following the height, the visual height of the alignment, and following through the 28th, which was that one big day of what the hell that I talked for so long about. So guys, please try to be there with us next week. If you can't, just watch the pre-record. But we're going to be helping you guys move through that all the way. Chastity, we're one big spiritual family. Sister, we are. Let me tell you. If people realized how connected we actually were, if you guys can feel the love from us, I can tell you that we absolutely feel it from y'all. It is
absolutely.
Genuine. It is absolutely genuine.
And the video is going to be posted so you can share, as Carol once wrote.
Yeah, share. Because listen, here's the gig. None of us are making any money out of this. We are literally dedicating our lives to this. Share because we want to help other people ascend, but we don't give two rips about any notoriety or building a group. We're not worried about that. We're just here to help foster people moving through this in the best possible way for them and for all of us.
Thank you, Chastity.
Thank you, sweet girl. We feel the exact same way about you, just so you know. The exact same way. You guys are so precious. We love y'all so much.
So do you, Carol. Thank you.
Do every day. Thank you to all of you for everything you do every single day. I would really love if you girls could all get together and start sharing more privately. You guys, whether you realize it or not, I said this to Victor the other night. I said, you know what they don't realize is that they've already formed a collective. They choose to be in together all the time, even though they don't realize it. And you guys are always supporting each other in chat. You guys are your own collective. If y'all can tap in, right, Vic?
Yes, absolutely. It's astounding to see. And it's just in the post. Where else do you see that, right? Positive.
It's really cool. You guys need to make that a little bit of homework. Work on getting in real-time communication with each other. If you guys in chat right now, you ladies, if you guys decide you want to come into the 5D class with me and you guys really sit and talk about it amongst yourselves, I will cut the price down as far as I can. I can't go crazy because it is a lot of work for me.
It is
a lot of work. It takes up my days. And when I'm doing it, I don't take readings. I devote my entire day and nights to you guys 24/7, whatever you need. But think about it, because that might be that extra jump that you guys need as a collective group to fill that thing. You know, you've been searching for that soul family, that soulmate, that thing. You guys are all in a group together right now. You guys all picked each other for a reason. You picked to be here at this time for a reason. So
that start time is July 10th, right? For the class.
Yeah, it's going to start on the 10th. Rachel said, bye, everybody, and have a good night. And tomorrow, we love you too, Rachel.
Love you too.
Sorry you had sound issues. Bless your baby heart.
And looking forward to your show on Monday.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to everybody's. Honestly, if we're being honest, guys, I think I'm the most boring one in the network. So I typically her to be on the back end doing the production because I'm like, oh, right. Like I'm always talking about stuff that's just, I don't even know what. I don't even know what.
Thanks, Brigitte.
Yeah.
Vielen Dank. Viel Spaß. Bis dann. Yep.
I would say it like my mother-in-law. You should even take it.
Yeah. Viel zu viel.
Yeah, we hope Rachel will feel better.
Rachel.
Listen, she's been really going through it, and I'll say it because we're on this network right now, but she's really suffering on the other network that she's on because a lot of the time in the chats, the people are so damn desperate and negative that it's been physically manifested in her. So, okay. Listen, that's totally fine. We're going to work the classes out. That's why I'm asking you ladies to work as a collective. Talk with each other. My schedule is flexible, and since it's all about you, all I need to know is what you need from me. Okay? Mm-hmm. So we're going to let you guys... Brigitte, right, Ishli? I love it. Brigitte, my husband's Italian, but was born and raised in Germany, and he builds all of the tours in southern Italy for... Dare tours and most of the German tour market. So the entire family speaks German, but they have Southern Italian faces. And for years, I've been in the mix in between Southern Italian attitude and German language. Guys, we again, to all of you, we love you very much. Have a safe night. Go have a drink on me. I'm planning on having one after this. And we love you. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.